Hi, this is Geshe Michael Roach, and I just wanted to invite you to a special program we're having in Kiev, Ukraine. When I came to Kiev last year, something very wonderful happened due to the hard work of Victoria and Vitaly Tarangul, organizers in Kiev. We had actually the largest one-day intensive for DCI that we've ever had in the world anywhere. I think it was over 500 people. And it was very exciting for me to be in this big auditorium and to have this amazing group of business people from many, many countries. I think it was almost 30 different countries. And for me to address them all there in Kiev. And it's exciting to be in such an ancient city, such a famous city in Ukraine. And we just had a wonderful time. I remember the crowd, I remember the people, very, very happy people, people who wanted to know these deep secrets of success. I myself attended Princeton University, as you know. After that, from the university, I was sent to Asia. And I spent 25 years with the masters of Asia, these great teachers from ancient times. And they taught me the great ancient books. And then I came back to Manhattan. I used those wonderful ideas, and I helped build the largest diamond jewelry company in the world, which was bought by Warren Buffett in 2009. Then a book company asked me to write a book called The Diamond Cutter, tell the secrets of this ancient method of success. And that book exploded, and because of that, I've been traveling to many, many countries around the world. But I have to say, the 2018 event in Kiev, I think it was one of the most exciting events I've ever been to. There, it was in the Parkovy Convention Center. And we just had a wonderful time with the Ukrainian people and other Russian-speaking countries. And it was so cool that everyone came. This year, we're going to talk about innovation and creativity. And when I think about innovation, I always think about Steve Jobs. And I like to imagine him sitting in his office. I like to think he has a big desk. I like to think there are electronic parts all over the desk, different pieces of telephones. And I like to think of him sitting there at his big desk and looking at all these pieces of electronic equipment. And some spark happens in his mind. You know, I like to think his mind is sort of like a dark room first, and he's just looking at all these pieces, and then suddenly he gets this great idea, and he sees a smartphone. He's the first person in this whole world. In his mind, he sees a picture of a smartphone, and it's difficult to understand what a success the smartphone was. There are 5 billion people in the world who bought a smartphone of the kind that was designed by Steve Jobs. And you're talking about the largest product spread in the history of humanity. And I like to think of the first moment when he's sitting at his desk and he suddenly sees this picture in his mind and he has this idea. And what I learned in my studies of the ancient wisdom is that you can actually plant the seeds to have these sparks in your mind. You know, usually when we want to be creative, we sit at home and it's difficult to think of a new idea. If your boss at your job tells you to get a new idea, come back with a new idea in 3 days, you sit, you worry, you try to have a new idea, and it just won't come out. You know, when you want a new idea, oftentimes you can't get one. When you don't need one, it's coming. Is it possible to control the process? Is it possible for us to plant the seeds in our mind and actually predict when a new idea will come into our mind? And then if you could learn to do that, if you could learn to plant seeds, to have new ideas, not just in business, not just for products, but new kinds of systems at work, new kinds of ideas at work, new ways of working with your employees or your suppliers. And then what if you could bring that creativity home in the evening and have new ideas about how to have a happier family, how to have a better relationship with your wife or husband or your children? What if you became this super creative person who can learn how to plant the seeds to have new ideas when you want them, and really cool new ideas that are exciting? And let's face it, people who have new ideas, their life is just much more exciting and much more fun. So please visit us there in Kiev. We'll be giving talks there about how to have these new ideas, how to plant new ideas in the all-day city intensive there in the Parkovy exhibition center. And I look forward to having again one of the largest programs we've ever had in Europe and in the whole world. And I'm looking forward to see you there.